Hi, my name is Stephanie Thomas, and I'm a supply chain professor at the University of Arkansas. And today, I'm excited to be here with my friend and colleague, Remco van Hoek, who has been working really hard to bring in exciting new development to Northwest Arkansas. So, Remco, I'm glad to be here with you today.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell everybody where we are? Because there's obviously a bit of construction going on.
Yeah, we are at the building site of the CSCMP Supply Chain Hall of Fame, which will be hosted by the University of Arkansas Walton College of Business in Rogers, Northwest Arkansas.
So there's construction going on, like the new Hall of Fame. And can you I know we're going to kind of walk around a little bit, but explain what this space is going to be used for.
Absolutely. So CSCMP started the Supply Chain Hall of Fame in 2016 as a conference event and a virtual Hall of Fame. And in one of the last board meetings when I was chair of the board, I challenged the board by saying the Hall of Fame is such a service opportunity to the profession. Shouldn't we think about building it? And I kind of turned around and said, sure, go ahead and see if you can pull that off. And so thanks to the very generous support of Mrs. Hunt and the Blast family, here we are.
So to be in the Hall of Fame, what kind of criteria has the CSCMP been looking at for members?
Yes. So all of the Distinguished Service Award recipients of CSCMP going back to 50 years ago are inductees. And then in addition to that, there are regular inductees. Amongst the inaugural ones were Henry Ford for the assembly line, Malcolm McLean for container, and J.B. Hunt for intermodal. So it's
Fantastic.
a different set of categories: industry transformer, thought leadership, knowledge creators, a really interesting group of inductees.
That's wonderful, because I know Northwest Arkansas has a reputation for being a hub for supply chain, not only just supply chain management, but supply chain innovation. So it's exciting to have this here to be able to look back and go, who has had an influence historically and who's having an influence on the future.
And that goes directly to what the purpose is. It's very much an attempt to shine a bright light on the greatest innovations to date and the greatest leadership accomplishments to date, with the intent of inspiring everything that's to come, including the professionals and the students of the profession that are going to be part of what's to come.
That's great. So do we want to take a look inside now? We're kind of in the main space.
That's right.
Do you want to kind of explain what the whole area is going to be and what are some potential opportunities for using the space?
So you just came through the public entrance on that side, and then in this part of the room, the main room, we'll have on the back the display with flags for the inductees and why they were inducted. And then along the sides of the room, both sides, we'll have exhibit space. So part of what we intend to do is organize revolving exhibits devoted to inductees, what they taught us, and what they might inspire in terms of supply chain future.
So who's going to be part of the initial exhibit space?
The initial exhibit when we open is going to be devoted to Henry Ford.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. I think Henry Ford was a neat character and has such a great story and has had such an impact on all of our lives. So it's a great place to start.
Working with the Henry Ford Museum and people have done a lot of research on it in beginning to prepare for the exhibit. There's so many supply chain lessons that we hold near and dear to us today that you can tie all the way back to the early 1900s, and that still have a lot of running room in terms of improvements in the future.
Which is one of the cool things about supply chain management, is we can use a lot of the same principles, but we're taking those principles and advancing them all the time.
One thing that you will appreciate is that he is actually really focused on lifelong learning, and as a leader focused on encouraging experimentation and always making education available for his teams and for himself. And I think that if you think about Industry 4.0, and the adagium is we have to keep learning and keep experimenting, keep innovating. So valid still today.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
I know we tell our students to always be lifelong learners and to be able to go back and say, you can blame Henry Ford for this.
Yep, exactly. So in terms of the intended use of the space, obviously, we can use it for classes, for seminars, for CSCMP roundtable and committee meetings. I've been working with a couple of companies that might organize roundtables here to just make really good use of the space to inspire what's to come. And so we'll have the main space for that, which we can set up in different ways, both lecture style as well as roundtable for events. And we'll have in the back, we'll have a smaller meeting room space, kind of like a boardroom setup, with some more exhibit space in there, and we can change the space around, move the walls if we need more space, and so on. So
Very modular to
Correct.
fit the needs.
correct,
Wonderful.
correct. So meeting space here. It's not a hot wire, but it's a wire. We have storage here. Facilities here, and we'll connect to the main building over here. We're able to move out to the patio here, and it's going to have a fantastic view of everything that's happening right around us, with obviously hundreds and hundreds of vendors here, and a fast developing area.
I really love this part of the space because I think you're going to get to not only learn a lot, but then you get to come out and truly appreciate the beauty of the area, as well as see a lot of the growth. And it's just going to be a neat place for people to kind of come connect with the history of supply chain, but also kind of see how vibrant the world is around us and how the supply chain is making everything happen.
Well, thanks for coming out here. Clearly, we're at the hard hat stage with some, some framing and some wall going up. But really look forward to having you back here, like in April, when we hope to open, and hopefully it'll be everything that we hope it will be.
I can't wait. I'll be right here on day one.